Hi everyone, welcome back sa aking channel, GTR Math Tutorial. So for today's video, we will discuss time rates, or in other books, makikita nyo to ay related rates. Okay, so let's start. So if the value of variable x is dependent on the time t, then dx over dt is called its time rate or rate of change with respect to time. Okay, so if two or more variables are related by an equation and each of the variables depends on the time, a relation among their respective time rates may be obtained by differentiating the given equation with respect to the time. So for example, if we have xy equals 6, then if we differentiate xy with respect to t, so we have use the product rule. So we have x derivative of the other variable, the dy over dt plus y derivative of x with respect to t equals derivative of 6 is 0. So therefore, we have x dy over dt plus y dx dt equals 0. Ayan. So sa time rates, dinidifferentiate lang natin ang given equation with respect to time t. Okay, so here are the steps in solving time rate problems. So first, find an equation involving the variables which is true for any time t. Find the equation. But before we find the equation, actually the first step is draw the figure. Okay, so draw the figure first, and then after drawing the figure, find an equation involving the variables which is true for any time t. Okay, so number 2, differentiate the equation in 1 with respect to t. Then last, determine the unknown time rate from 2 using 1 if needed. If needed ito. So mali yung type ko, if needed. Okay, so here are the problems that we're going to solve in this video. So we have 4 problems. Okay, so let's answer number 1. Okay. So a water is poured into a conical tank 6 meters across. So given natin conical tank. So cone. 6 meters across the top. So 6 meters across the top, ibig sabihin ito yung diameter ng conical tank. And 8 meters deep. So 8 meters deep at the rate of 10 cubic meter per minute. So how fast, so ito na question, how fast is the water level rising when the water in the tank is 5 meters deep? So ang kailangan natin dito, ang hinahanap natin, how fast is the water level rising? So yung pagtaas ng water level, no? So given 10 cubic meter per minute. So the unit is cubic meter per minute. So therefore, this is the volume. This is the derivative of V with respect to T because of per minute. Okay? So therefore, given natin yan, given natin ang dV over dt. So we have 10 cubic meter. 10 cubic meter per minute. So that is the derivative of volume with respect to T. So kailangan pala natin ang formula ng volume ng cone. So drawing natin ang cone natin. So ito yung cone. Kunwari na lang maganda, perfect yung cone natin. Ano? So ayan. So ayan yung cone natin. So ilagay natin yung mga given natin. So ang given natin sa cone ay 6 meters daw across the top. So 6 meters across the top. So ibig sabihin, ang radius natin ay 3 meters lang. Kasi yung buo ay 6. Then given din ang height natin 8 meters deep. So ang height nitong cone natin ay 8 meters. So ang tinatanong, how fast is the water level rising when the water in the tank is 5 meters deep? So 5 meters deep daw, ito yun. Let's say ito yung 5 meters. So ayan. 5 meters. How fast is the water level rising when the height is, when the water in the tank is 5 meters deep? So, alamin muna natin ano ba ang volume ng cone. So, ang volume ng cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. Okay? So, 1/3 yan ng volume ng cylinder. Cylinder kasi is pi r squared h. Okay, so kailangan alamin natin kung may given tayo ng dv over dt. So ang variable natin, we have three variables, v, r, and h. So ang hinahanap natin dito, how fast is the water level rising? So therefore, yun yung dh over dt yon. Dahil ang variable lang naman natin, meron ng dv over dt. So ang variable natin, r and h. So siyempre, water level rising ang hinahanap natin. So therefore, yun yung height, dh over dt. So wala tayong given na dr over dt. So therefore, we need to express the volume in terms of h only because there is no given value of dr over dt. So express natin, we must express r in terms of h. So from this figure, so we can form a similar triangle. So the height is 8 meters and the radius is 3 meters. And then at the time, let's say this is the radius, this is r, and then this is the height of the smaller triangle. So we have similar triangles, the bigger and this smaller right triangle. So applying the similar triangle, proportion daw ang sides ng similar triangle. So therefore, we have so ratio of radius over h that is proportional sa sides ni bigger triangle. So r over h equals 3 over 8. Then solve for r so that we can substitute the value of r to this. Solve for r, so we need to multiply both sides of the equation by h. So therefore, r, so cancel out h, r is equal to 3h over 8. Okay, so now substitute this 3h over 8 in this equation. So we have v is equal to 1/3 pi times the value of r is 3h over 8 square times h. So simplify first before we get the derivative. Volume is equal to, or let's just eliminate the y, the 1. So let's write pi over 3. And then this will become 3 squared. So that is 9. Just distribute the square. So 9h squared over 8 times 8. So that is 64 times h. Then combine the h. We have v is equal to 9 pi over, we can cancel out 9 and 3. Divide 9 and 3. So that is equal to 3. Okay? Equal to 3. So we have 3 pi and then h squared times h. So that is h cubed over 64. Okay, so now we can differentiate with respect to time t. So we have differentiate v, so that is dv over dt equals 3 pi over 64 is constant. So just get the derivative of h cubed. So we have 3 pi times 64 times derivative of h cubed is 3 h squared times derivative of h with respect to t. So now let's substitute all the given. We have h given how fast is the water level rising when the water in the tank is 5 meters deep. So when h is equal to 5. So solve dh over dt when h equals 5 and the volume dv over dt is 10 cubic meter per minute. So just substitute the given to this so that we can solve dh over dt. So this is the what we are looking. So how fast is the water level rising? dH over dt. So substitute all the given. So we have 10, dV over dt is 10 equals 3 pi over 64 times 3. So we can multiply. So simplify na natin. So we have 3 times 3. So that is equal to 9. 9 pi over 64. And then h is 5. Okay, 5. So we have 5 squared times dH over dt. Okay, so multiply both sides by 64. Multiply both sides by 64 so that we don't have denominator. So 64 times 10. So we have, okay, so multiply both sides of the equation by 10, by 64. Multiply both sides of the equation by 64. So wala na tayong denominator. So we have 64 times 10 equals 9 pi times 5 squared. So that is 25. So we have 9 pi times 25 and then dH over dt. Then divide both sides by all of this term 9 pi over 25. So we have 9 pi over 25. We have 9 pi times 25. So cancel this, cancel. So let's simplify 10 over 25. So divide this by 5. So this will become 2 and then 25 divided by 5. That is equal to 5. So therefore we have, may maka-cancel pa ba? Wala nang maka-cancel. 64 times 2, that is equal to 128 over 9 times 5. So we have 45 pi. That is the dH over dt. So this is the exact value. Exact value of dH over dt is equal to 128 over 45 pi. The unit is, what is the unit? Meter. Since this is meter cube per minute. Okay, so meter per minute. So meter per minute or approximately. So this is the exact answer, but the approximately, so that is equal to, so 128 divided by 45 pi. So that is equal to approximately, that is 0.99054, so 0.91 meter per minute. So at the height of 5, yan, if the height is 5 meters, the water level is rising at a height at 0.91 meter per minute. So yun yung rate niya kapag ang rate down ng water is poured at 10 cubic meter per minute. Okay, so but the final answer is 128 over 45 pi. So this is the approximate 0.91 so that we can visualize it. Okay, so next, number 2. A ship A is, let's change the color first. A ship A is 20 kilometers west of another ship B. Okay, so meron tayong ship A, 20 kilometers west of ship B. Okay, so let us draw. So that is ship A. So this is ship A. And then ship B, 20 kilometers daw sila. 20 kilometers ang kanilang layo sa isa't isa. Okay, if A sails is 10 kilometers per hour, 10 kilometers per hour, and at the same time, B sails north 30 kilometers per hour. So si A ay papunta kay B at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour, but at the same time, si B ay papunta sa north ng 30 kilometers per hour. Mas mabilis si B. So therefore, ayan, yung drawing ko, mas malayo na siya. Find the rate of change of the distance. Rate of change of the distance between them at the end of 1/2 hour. So, kumpletuhin natin muna yung figure natin. So, makakabuo tayo ng, ito yung hinahanap natin. Ito yung hinahanap natin, rate of change of their distance. Habang si A kasi papalapit, papunta daw ng east. O papunta siya kay B, si B naman papuntang north. So, ayan, makakabuo tayo ng right triangle dahil east and, east and north. So kung ang layo ni A and B ay 20, so hindi natin alam ito. So lagyan natin ito ng X. So if this is X, ano ang sukat nito simula dito hanggang dito? So that is 20 minus X because ang layo ni A and B is 20. Then ang hinahanap natin yung rate of change ng kanilang distance. Ang distance ni A, si A nandito na, si B lumayo. So ito yung distance, lagyan natin ng S or kahit anong variable ang gusto nyong gamitin. So let's say this is S and ito hindi natin alam so lagyan natin ng Y. Okay? Then, ma-form na natin ng equation. Anong equation ang pwedeng mabuo natin dito? We have right triangle. So therefore, by Pythagorean theorem, the square of the hypotenuse, S squared, is equal to the square of the sum of the square of the legs. So we have 20 minus X squared plus Y squared. Okay? So, meron tayong tatlong variable. Kailangan alamin natin kung ilan yung given natin na merong derivative with respect to time. So, Etong 10 kilometers per hour, this is the speed of A. So therefore, si A papunta dito, di ba? So 10 kilometers, so that is dx over dt. So that is the speed. So dx 10 kilometers per hour. So ayan, yung distance over time. So that is the dx dt. So we have 10 kilometers per hour. And then we have at the same time B sails north 30 kilometers per hour. So that is the speed, that is the dy over dt. So that is equal to 30 kilometers per hour. Since we have dx over dt and dy over dt, so there's no need to solve for x in terms of y. Dahil meron na tayong given na dx dt and dy dt. So ang hinahanap natin is the rate of change of the distance. So that is the ds over dt. So ito yung hinahanap natin. Okay, so all we have to do now is differentiate this. So differentiate this with respect to time t. So derivative of s squared, use the power rule. So we have 2s, always followed by derivative of s with respect to t. Okay, equals, use chain rule. So 2 times, subtract tayo ng 1 dito sa base natin, sa exponent, 20 minus x raised to 1, and then derivative of our base, 20 minus x. Derivative of 20 is 0, derivative of negative x is negative 1. Times dx over dt, syempre. Plus derivative of y squared, so that is 2y, followed by dy over dt. So as you can see, we have 2 on each term. So divide both sides by 2 or simply cancel 2. Then, divide by s pa rin. O, dapat pala, diniretso na natin. Divide both sides by 2s. Dahil ang hinahanap natin, ds over dt. So, therefore, we have ds over dt equals 20 minus x. So, may negative 1 pa pala dito. No? So, ilagay na natin yung negative dito sa labas. Plus y dy dt. So, may na-miss tayo dito sa kabila. That is dx over dt, derivative of x with respect to t, plus y dy over dt all over s. So substitute lang natin lahat ng given natin. So meron na tayong dx dt, meron na tayong dy dt, wala pa tayong x, y, and s. So isosolve pa natin yon. So, ito yung speed natin, dx over dt. Meron tayong given na time 1/2 hour. So, when t equals 1/2 hour, so therefore, x is equal to, so this is x is equal to, i-multiply lang natin ang speed sa time. So, the speed is 10 kilometers per hour times 1/2 hour. So, makakancel lang dyan yung hour. So, therefore, 10 times 1/2. So, that is equal to 5 kilometers. So y is equal to 30 kilometers. Speed is 30. Then we have 1/2 hour. So ang distance na natin is 15. So meron na tayong x, meron na tayong y, wala pa tayong value ng s. So yung s natin, so isolve pa natin. So s is, when we solve for s, take the square root of both sides of this equation. So we have s is equal to, yung positive lang ang kukuhanin natin, square root of 20 minus x squared plus y squared. Then substitute the value of x and y. So we have s is equal to square root of 20 minus 5 squared plus y is 15 squared. So we have s is equal to square root of 15 squared plus another 15 squared. So we can write that as square root of 2 times 15 squared. Then distribute the square root. Square root of 15 squared. So we can simply cancel 15, the square and the radical. So that is 15. So we have s is equal to 15 square root of 2. Okay, so that is the value of s, 15 square root of 2. So now substitute all the values. So we have ds over dt is equal to negative. So we have 20 minus x, so that is 5. Dx over dt, we have 10. Plus y, we have 15. And then dy dt over dt is 30 all over s, which is 15 square root of 2. So let's just simplify. So we have, simplify na natin, diretso na natin, kulang na space natin. Negative 20 times 20 minus 5, so this is equal to 15 times 10, so that is equal to 15 times 10, so that is equal to negative 150. So itong buong term na to, negative 150 na lang. Then 15 times 30, so that is positive 450. So combine na natin, 450 minus 150, so that is equal to 300 na lang siya. So dinaretso na natin. So we have 300 over 15 square root of 2. Then rationalize natin. So yung square root of 2, tanggalin natin dito sa, multiply natin by square root of 2, square root of 2. Para yung denominator, masimplify natin, mawala itong square root of 2 sa denominator. So therefore, we have 300 square root of 2 over 15 times 2 na lang ito. Okay, so therefore, 15 times 2, so 15 times 2, that is 30. Okay? So this is 30. Okay? Then 300 divided by 30, so that is equal to 10 square root of 2. So the final answer, ds over dt equals 10 square root of 2. What is the unit of this? This is kilometer per hour. So that is the rate of change kilometer per hour. So this will be our final answer. But the approximately, that is equal to, if you want to get the approximate value, 10 square root of 2. So that is equal to 14.14 kilometer per hour. Okay? So yan. So habang at the end of 1 hour, yan yung rate of change ng kanilang distance, 14.14 kilometer per hour. Okay, so next, number 3. So drawing muna natin. So sa time rates, kahit naman sa anong mga problem, no? So drawing lang, dun lang magsisimula. Kapag tama yung drawing nyo, tama na rin yung ano nyo dyan, yung process nyo. Okay, so a rowboat is pushed from a beach at a rate of 13 feet per second. A rowboat push from a beach. So let's say ito yung pinush daw si ano. So let's say ito na si boat natin. Si boat pinush daw siya. Ayan, pinush da. Ito na siya. Pinush daw si rowboat at a rate of 13 feet per second. The rope is tied to the boat at a height of 7 feet. Nakatali si boat at a height of 7 feet. So ito yung beach nasa ilalim, no? So tapos nakatali daw at the height of 7 feet. So ito yung 7 feet. So question, dito siya nakatali kunwari. So find how the rate at which the angle of elevation. So angle of elevation, may trigonometric function tayo dito. Find how the rate at which the angle of elevation of the rope is decreasing after 1 second, decreasing daw. So ito yung angle of elevation natin. So this is angle of elevation. So we have theta. Okay, so anong mga given natin? 7 feet. So ito, lagyan natin to ng x. Si boat kasi pinupush siya galing dito. Horizontally yun, no? Push from a beach. So syempre, horizontal yun. Push from a beach. So ito yung hindi natin alam. Lagyan natin ito ng x. The rope is tied to the boat at a height of 7 feet. So ito ang figure natin. Find how the rate at which the angle of elevation of the rope is decreasing. So angle of elevation, so ang hinahanap natin ay d theta with respect to t. So dahil ang hinahanap natin, rate of which the angle of elevation of the rope is decreasing after 1 second. So ang time down natin, so may given tayo time ay 1 second. And then isa pa, meron tayong given 13 feet per second. A rowboat is pushed from a beach. So yun yung dx over dt. So yun yung 13 feet per second. Okay, so ano ang relation ng mabubuo natin? Dito given tayo 7 feet. Ito yung theta, ang 7 feet ay opposite ng theta, ang x naman ay adjacent ng theta. So therefore, ang trigonometric function natin ay tangent theta equals 7 feet over x. So katowa. So opposite over adjacent, TOA. Okay, so yan ang trigonometric function natin. Ang hinahanap natin ay d theta over dt. So therefore, tangent theta is 7 over x. So therefore, theta is equal to arctangent 7 over x. Ayan, differentiate na natin ngayon. Differentiate d theta over dt. So we have a formula for arctangent is 1 over 1 plus u. But our u is 7 over x. So we have 1 plus 7 over x squared times derivative of this. Okay, so we have direct formula for c over x to the n. So ang formula natin dyan is negative. Multiply lang natin to cn x to the n plus 1 times derivative of x with respect to t. Okay, so apply that this formula or galing lang din ito sa power rule. Shortcut lang. So this will become negative 7 dahil exponent of this is 1 over x squared times dx over dt. Okay, so ito yung hinahanap natin. So substitute na lang natin ang mga given natin. So ang time down natin ay find how the rate at which the angle of elevation of the rope is decreasing after 1 second. Okay, so substitute natin. So ano yung mga makukuha natin dito? Yung makukuha natin dito ng mga Okay, substitute lang natin yung mga given natin. So we have the rope is tied to the boat. So we have 7 feet dito, no? So substitute lang natin yung mga values natin. So i-solve natin. Wala pa tayong value ni x. dx dt, may value tayo ni dx dt. Pero siyempre i-simplify muna natin ito kasi itong x squared makakancel lang ito eh. So apply muna natin dito. So simplify natin. So shortcut na lang siguro natin. Sige. Baka hindi magkasya no. So d theta over dt. So simplify natin to. So we have 1 over 1 plus 7 squared. So that is 49 over x squared. So we have x squared times negative 7 over x squared times dx over dt. So ito simplify natin. Pwede tayong gumamit ng butterfly dito. So para madali na yan, butterfly natin to. Cross multiply and then multiply din ito. So therefore we have, so makakancel yung x squared dyan. D theta over dt is equal to, so we have 1 over 1 times x squared. So we have x squared plus 49 all over x squared times negative 7 over x squared times dx over dt. So we can cancel out x squared and x squared here. So therefore, we have d theta over dt equals negative 7 over x squared plus 49 times dx dt. Okay, so let's substitute all the values. So we have d theta over dt is equal to negative 7. So what is the value of x? So lagay muna natin plus 49 and then we have given dx over dt. So that is 13 feet per second. So times 13. But the value of x is decreasing after 1 second. So pinupush natin dito siya na 13 feet per second. Sabi, after 1 second lang. So after 1 second, so syempre kung ito ay 7, ito ay magiging 13. So multiply lang natin sa 13 feet per second times 1 second. So that is magiging 13 ito. So therefore, ito ay magiging 13 squared. Okay, so simplify lang natin yan. Calculator na lang yan. D theta over dt equals negative 7 times 13. So negative 7 times 13. So that is negative 91 over Diretso na natin. 13 squared. So that is 13 squared. So that is 169 plus 49. So we have 200, 218. So the unit of theta is radian. Radian per, ang unit natin ay second. So radian per second. So therefore, d theta over dt. So yan yung rate ng angle of elevation. Decreasing siya. Decreasing kaya negative. So syempre habang tinutulak ito, yung angle natin liliit kasi lalayo siya eh. Okay, so therefore we have approximately negative 91 divided by 218. So we have approximately negative 0.41 or pag ni-round up natin 42. Ayan, so 417 kasi 42 radian per second. So this is the final answer, negative 0.42 radian per second. Okay, so last number, number 4. So the radius of a right circular cone, so ayan, meron tayong right circular cone is increasing. Ayan, increasing at the rate of, so yung radius daw, increasing our radius at the rate of 6 cm per second, while its altitude is decreasing at 3 cm per second. Find the rate of change of its volume. Rate of change of its volume. So ang hinahanap natin, rate of change of its volume, dV over dt. So malinaw, yun yung hinahanap natin. Find the rate of change of its volume when its radius is 8 cm and its altitude is 20 cm. So masyadong maraming given dito. So direct substitution na lang siguro ito. So meron tayong radius of right circular cone. So drawing natin. Right circular cone. Okay, kunwari, perfect. Kunwari, perfect yung ano natin. So, at yung mga given natin, sulat natin isa-isa. The radius of right circular cone is increasing at the rate of 6 cm per second. So, yun na agad yung ating dr over dt. Okay? So, increasing at the rate of 6 cm per second yung radius natin. While its altitude, so yun yung height, ang height natin, dh over dt ay decreasing. So pag decreasing, negative yon. Negative 3 cm per second. Okay? Find the rate of change of its volume. So ang formula ng volume ng cone ay 1/3 pi r squared h. So meron tayong given na dr over dt and dh over dt. So therefore, pwede na nating i-differentiate ito directly kasi given yung dr dt, dh dt. Unlike dun sa unang example natin kanina, isa lang yung given. So kaya sinolve natin in terms of the other lang. Ito given parehas. So mag-product rule lang tayo dito. Constant lang ang 1/3 pi. Differentiate natin. So we have dv over dt equals, so just isolate the pi over 3 and then derivative of this r squared. Derivative of h is dh over dt plus h. Derivative of r squared is 2r dr dt. Okay. So yan na yung ating derivative. So ngayon, substitute na lang natin ang mga given dito. So may mga given tayo when its radius is 8. So ang radius daw natin ay 8 centimeters and its altitude is 20 centimeters. So yun na pala, eksakto na, kumpleto na lahat ng given. So substitute na lang natin. dv over dt equals pi over 3. So we have r squared is 8 centimeters. So we have 8 squared. dh dt, given yan. So we have negative 3 plus h. So we have another 20. And then we have 2 times r. So we have 2 times 8 times dr dt. So that is equal to 6. Okay. So ayan na. Simplify na lang natin. So we have pi over 3. Then 8 squared. 8 squared times negative 3. So that is 64 times 3. So we have negative 192 plus multiply lang lahat ito. 20 times 2 times 8 times 6. We have 1,920. So subtract lang natin. So that is equal to pi over 3 times 1920 minus 192. So we have 1728 and then dv over dt is equal to, divide lang natin yan sa 3. So we have 576 pi cubic ano to, anong units natin? Centimeter cube per second. Okay, so ito yung final answer, 576 pi cubic centimeter per second or approximately, so 576 times pi lang yan, times 5, so that is 1,809.56 cubic centimeter per second. Okay, so that's all. So I hope nagustuhan nyo ang explanation natin ng time rates. So see you sa susunod nating tutorial. Bye-bye and God bless.